Mr. Chairman, you and I have had an opportunity to deal with each other a couple times, and you know my comments that I have made to you about the rights of people who are on the other side that you regulate. Today, I'd like to just take a few minutes and tell you the things that I think are important for the entire commission here. One of them is that I believe that you need more fairness and balance. I think the SEC does not have fairness nor balance. I think that the SEC is engaged in selective enforcement. I think they're engaged in selective enforcement perhaps of 1 or 2 or 5 people in a marketplace that were not really guilty of anything, but simply were someone that you wanted to make an example of. I think that you can come up here and hear members say how proud they are of you for having $5 billion worth of fines that you have put off of people who have theoretically done something wrong. That diminishes shareholder value too. When you fine a company, it takes away shareholder value, and that's one of the things that your commissioners have talked about today, that their mission is to ensure shareholder value and to protect people. Mr. Chairman, I believe that you should engage, as well as all the commissioners, in making sure that you do not make examples of a few select people. Mr. Chairman, I believe you should look at the mission statement that the SEC has, perhaps on a daily basis, and make sure that your staff and you live up to that. I believe that if you get in trouble, if you didn't intend to get in trouble, you ought to be able to get out of trouble. You ought to be able to work your way through regulatory morass instead of waiting for the average of 140 days or whatever it might be for you to respond back to a person. Mr. Chairman, I believe that the marketplace is complex. I believe that things happen that none of us have any real control over, including bankruptcies or other matters. It's when you collude to do something, or you have insider information, or you fail to do your job properly, due diligence or whatever. But I can give you examples where the SEC is causing individual agents in the marketplace who also lost money in certain assets, and the SEC came after them and had them spend $500,000 of legal counsel to defend themselves against something they, nor they alone, were engaged in, but it was selective enforcement. And I have seen this across this Biden administration at the Department of Justice, at the SEC, and other places. And I believe that there is some demand put on you, or something that you're doing to cause actions that are neither fair nor balanced. I've got a minute left. Sir, would you like to engage that issue and defend that?
I'm very proud of the agency and the hardworking folks of the agency, the 1,300 folks in enforcement, but all the other lawyers and accountants and economists and my fellow commissioners that support that effort. They follow the facts and the law where they take them. We do bring, as noted, 700 or so enforcement actions a year, many of them settled actions. We look to people who cooperate with the agency and really recognize that cooperation with the agency to try to, as you say, get things right. I, by the way, would concur with you. Markets are complex and life is complex, and people do often make genuine, just human mistakes. But our enforcement division, I couldn't be prouder of them.
I will look forward to testing that theory, and I want to thank each of you for your service, not just to the SEC, but the American people, and I will challenge you properly and professionally on this issue. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.